Hey you, yeah you, the one thinking about buying cheap coilovers. Don't do it. There's only one thing this junk is good for. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We got really exciting stuff going on today with the maXpeed. It's finally getting coilovers. The fitment on it is absolute trash, and it can't carry weight worth of crap. And this is my work car. I throw a lot of weight in it. I can't put up with it anymore. So we are going to be testing out the cheapest coilovers you can buy on eBay. I bought maXpeedingrods coilovers. There is actually a cheaper option, but you'd have to not be very smart to buy non-adjustable coilovers. So I went with the slightly more expensive ones. They were like $300. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them on and let you guys know what I think about them. I do not drive my cars nicely, so these coilovers will get a test. We're gonna see if we can break them or blow them and see just how good they are and whether they're worth buying or not. This is not sponsored by them. They actually offered me free parts like 6 months ago, but I didn't want any of their questionable parts. And then I contacted them recently and said, hey, I'll review some of your coilovers. And they didn't want me to get them. So logically, I bought them. That whole situation got me thinking, why don't they want someone with plenty of name brand coilovers to get a hold of them? So let's head to the shop and put this thing on coilovers. I throw motors in the trunk, tailgates in the passenger seat, whatever needs to be done. I need a tailgate. That's not going anywhere. Huh. I'm there. maXpeedingrods. Quality, durability, made in China. Let's go ahead and unbox them. Looks like UPS threw the box. So we'll see how well they're packaged. The fronts are covered in oil. Here's all you get for $310. Let's get the car in here and put them on. Before you even lift the car, what you need to do is get measurements. I measure from the ground to the bottom of the fender lip, and then I write it on here with a Sharpie so that I have a baseline to go off and know what needs to be adjusted later on. I got 25 on the front right, and the rest on the car are 25.5. So I'm sitting ½ an inch lower on this front right. Now that I have that information, I can balance the car a lot better when I set these coilovers up. I've attempted to replace everything in the suspension that I can so that I don't unjustly call these coilovers good or not good. Hopefully they're decent. For a track-ready car, I would not pick these ones. But this is just my daily driver. As long as they're semi-decent, I'll be happy. So I think full long is gonna be too tall for what I want. And this is full short right here. So I think I'm gonna split the difference and go right in between these. The coilovers do not have a mount for the brake up here. Generally, the brake line mounts right there, so I'm gonna have to zip tie that. It is all back together now. This is looking really good. A lot less uncompression. I'm gonna slap a wheel on, set it down, and see what the front end looks like. I really think this is too low. Oh, it might actually not be. The lift is on the ground, so I need to put some blocks under it and see just how much higher they're gonna go. Yeah. I think it's too low. I mean, it looks good. This thing's absolutely dumped right now. I'm gonna raise it 1.5 inches and we'll see what that looks like. This whole twisting of a rod is not the motion I'm used to. Okay, now I think we're too high. We're gonna leave that and move on to the rear. The reason that control arm flew down so hard, someone put this in and torqued it like this. So it's been stressing the bushing, as you can see by how it's loaded. You're not supposed to torque bushings till you're at ride height for that reason. All right, guys, I'm defeated. I'm coming back tomorrow to finish it up. I gotta drop the subframe to change those rear upper control arms, so it's just not happening today. This seems to be a recurring theme every time I work at the shop and can't finish my but I'm trying to teach myself to just enjoy life more and stop taking work so seriously. So this is, I was offered a ride, you know, but I want to be active and just enjoy being outside. So this is a great way to end the day. And tomorrow's another day. Car's not going anywhere. The coilovers aren't going anywhere. It's all about enjoying life. I just found an Arroyo made of old cars. This is crazy. I bet some of these were worth some money at one point, but now they're junk. Aw, bro, it's my whip. Steering's still tight. Quick little update. I have currently dropped the subframe pretty much out. I didn't drop the drive shaft, so hopefully it doesn't go anywhere. But I was able to get it about 6 inches down. Mazda made the upper shock bolts right there. This is the best way to do it. Got the shocks out. I'm currently adjusting it for height. This is max low, and it is still longer than the stock shock. So I think it's good at max low. But I did notice one thing, and it's not a huge deal, but this is why you get quality coilovers. One has an adjuster, the other doesn't. You can still adjust it from this little one, no problem. But it's super annoying that this one, like I would have never known if this also didn't have one. But like that's just stupid quality control that you guys should figure out. Either put none or put both. It really looks bad to only put one. It looks like someone didn't care or didn't know what they were doing. Here's something I just noticed that to me is a red flag. Like I said, max low, and it's still slightly taller. Now if we look at compression, and I'm no expert, but I'll let you, first of all, you see how much softer the stock shock is than the OEM, and maybe that's because I have a Mazda Speed, and these are still stiffer than a 6. Y'all can be the judges of this for yourself. I'm just showing you the differences I'm finding. Look at how much lower the Mazda Speed stock shock goes. That shows me that this is gonna be too long. This is, like I said, max low. Doesn't go any lower than that. I just find it super odd that the stock shock is shorter and compresses more. So I feel like this one is gonna bottom out and potentially break itself. But I'm gonna put it on and we're gonna see how it does. So whatever. I hate working on that Mazda Speed. It is not fun. The rear upper control arms don't fit. Everything just sucks. I literally hate it. But it's okay. I am late for a chiropractor's appointment. I'm still recovering from wrecking that 240. I called my buddy and we're gonna head to his shop after it and weld up those traction rods or whatever they are that were bad, and I tried to replace in the front end rebuild video. I'm gonna just cut those and weld those so they're right, and that is the only thing we're replacing in the rear, and hopefully that will make it so I can dial my alignment. So here's the arm that is seized. This is the replacement arm I got that's wrong. There it is, fixed. Went ahead and cut that out of it and welded it back together straight. Coilovers are on. Now we're gonna suck the subframe back up. Huge. All right, we're going full low in the back. So that is full low in the rear. That sucks. To me, it doesn't look like these were made application specific. It seems like they have their standard baseline they use for all cars and they made it work for this one. I don't like how long the rear shocks are. I don't like how low the rear shocks go. I mean, come on, look at how good that front looks. And then this, we're gonna have to do something about that. Take one of the lock rings off. That might buy me ½ an inch. I think it's gonna stay right there. It's test drive time with no exhaust. I do not feel like putting it on. I can't get over how good the front looks. That's the fitment I like. Nice and tight. Yeah, it's too low. So back to the shop and it will get raised. So my initial thoughts are the front is better, but the rear is garbage. It feels bouncy riding over bumps, and the front is better because the stock suspension was trash, but it's still loose. So I'm gonna pop the hood right now and see if I can adjust them a little harder. But I think they're full stiff already. So I'm gonna try full loose and see if I can even feel a difference. Part of me thinks on these cheap coilovers, the adjustment doesn't really do anything. So we're gonna find out. Oh my God. I don't know if you can see in the video, the thing just boated out like that on the front. So the adjustment definitely does something, but now it's garbage. I'll try in the middle and see if it's okay, semi-stiff. These coilovers are garbage. I might as well just have blown shocks. All right, I'm going back to full hard because these coilovers really don't have much stability to them. I guess this road is shut down. So anyway, guys, I'm super not happy with these coilovers, but I mean, what did I expect? This is why I was buying them, to bite the bullet so you guys don't have to. This is unsafe. I would not go 130 on these coilovers, and this car is very capable of going that fast. They're just so bouncy and unstable that, you know, that will cause you to hop and lose traction and crash. I know a lot of you guys just want to slam your car and get low. You can do it. These will make it happen, especially in the front. I'm sure on other platforms you can get them low all around, but at what cost? Like, do you really want to be crashing your car and almost dying, and it's all because you bought cheap suspension? There's a reason name brand suspension costs a good amount of money, because your life is riding on it. I'm gonna put more miles on these to check them out, but my initial thoughts are this is garbage. Now on to whether I'd recommend them. I would not recommend them. The rear shocks were the wrong length for this car, and I went back to the stock ones. They were stiffer. It rides so much better. Now it's actually acceptable on the maXpeedingrods spring and the OEM shock in the rear. The front's still on the full eBay setup because that was working all right. Although I've gotten the rear to where it's acceptable and it will work, the average person is not going to be exactly happy, and I wasn't happy that I had to go back to the shop and stay there till midnight putting my stock shocks back on, which I had to relower the subframe. Everything was a pain, and that has nothing to do with the coilovers. That's just the design of this car in particular. Regardless, the shocks that came with the coilover kit should have been the right length, so I can't recommend the coilover kit. Everything about this kit is subpar. My official recommendation is, if you're getting coilovers and you want something budget, buy a set of BC Racing coilovers. They're great for the money. I've had them on a couple cars and they ride so great, and they're not too stiff, but they're stiffer than whatever this junk is. If you're wondering where I am, I'm at the disposal site of some junk, so let's get rid of it. Don't buy cheap coilovers, guys. It's not worth it. They can't even stop a bullet. Do yourself a favor and go ahead and trust me on this. I've had a lot of good sets of coilovers. This would make the second set of eBay coils I've had. I obtained that first set of Godspeeds on a car I bought, and they were trash. I crashed that car leaving the shooting range that I'm at. It has some really windy turns, and I was going like 85, and the speed limit's, you know, not 85. Boom! Do yourself a favor and get good coilovers that keep you planted to the ground. These ones bounce you all over the place, and it can be the difference between you crashing your car and not. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. A lot of work went into working on this car, and it just wasn't worth any of it. So if you're gonna put coilovers on your car, save yourself the hassle of doing it twice and just do it once. Get a good quality component. And don't forget, guys, keep it local. Yeet! The 7.62 really packs a punch compared to the 5.56. This thing didn't stand a chance.